So this morning we tried to figure out how to do this submarine sandwich problem. And the idea was that there's a bunch of kids on a class trip. They've been separated into 4 different groups, and each group got a different number of students in it. And each group also got a different number of sub sandwiches that they had to split equally among the group members. Pretty open-ended problem. And we're just trying to figure out if, in fact, the sub sandwiches were handed out equally. So there's like any number of ways you can go about solving this. And we saw in class that people had different ideas. So I'm going to try and kind of combine some of those ideas and just show you some potential ways you could solve a problem like this. So what we do know is that there's 4 different groups. Let's start with just the first group. First group had 4 people, 3 sandwiches. Okay. Now, we don't know the specifics about the sandwich, but we can definitely decide what we think the sandwiches should be in terms of size. That might help us if we assign a number such as 12 inches to a sandwich. It might help us to divide it more evenly between the people. Okay. So if we look at this first one, I'm going to start with the sandwiches. And I'm just going to do a diagram first. Okay, this is not obviously done to scale, but I'm trying to at least draw 3 different sandwiches. Okay, no sandwich in the world really looks like that, but hey, I'm trying. And I'm gonna assume now that each sandwich is 12 inches long. Okay, if I got a foot long from Subway, it would be 12 inches long. So if I add up these together to find out the total length of this, if we imagine it was one big sandwich, we put these 3 together, it's actually going to be 3 times 12, which is 36 inches. That's a 36-inch sandwich. Okay, so the reason I have assigned this number 12 here, even though it wasn't in the question, is it's easier for me now to figure out, okay, what total number of sandwich length is there that I can divide evenly amongst those group members. So now I've got a good number to work with. I got this 36, and it needs to be divided equally among 4 people. Well, a simple calculation of 36 divided by 4 will give me a number, 9. Okay, so I'm going to write that underneath here, 36 inches, and I'm going to divide that by 4 people. All right, so that's inches divided by people. Okay, and then we get a rate basically of 9 inches per person. Okay, so that one worked out pretty straightforward. So now we know that these 4 people are going to get 9 inches each of sandwich. Okay, if I imagine what that looks like roughly, okay, I can see that each person is going to get less than 1 sandwich, than 1 whole. Okay, each person gets less than 1 whole sandwich. Okay, now, like another way I can look at that same question, this way I was looking at combining the total length of the sandwiches and dividing it by the number of people. What if I just divide the number of sandwiches by the number of people? Okay, so that would be a different strategy. So this is like one strategy. Here's another one. If I took the 3 sandwiches and I divide it by 4, it's a fraction. Okay, 3 out of 4 is less than 1. It's going to be a number that's smaller than 1. And we know now for sure that each student is going to get less than 1 sandwich. Okay, because 3 sandwiches is not enough for 4 people. Okay, so it all checks out so far. Now, if I take my calculator again and I do 3 divided by 4, I'm going to get a decimal number, 0.75. Okay, just to show you there, equals 0.75. A conversion from a fraction to a decimal, 0.75. If I multiply that now by 100, I'm going to get a percentage. Okay, we've done this in class before as well. 75%. Okay, This means each kid in the first group will get 75% of one whole sandwich. That also is indicated by this 9 out of 12. Is it true that 9 out of 12 will also equal 75%? Let's check. 9 divided by 12 equals, yes, 75%. So 3 sandwiches divided by 4 people equals 0.75, which is 75% of a sandwich. Okay. And that means if we do it this strategy and we add up the total sandwich length divided by the number of people, 36 inches of sandwich divided by 4 people gave us 9 inches per person, which turns out to be exactly 75%. Okay, that's the first group.